on January 6th,
Mm-hmm.
of course, I'll take a step back. In November 2020, I said that Joe Biden was going to be the next president of the United States. In December, I was actually on a New Jersey bar panel when I was asked that question. I said Joe Biden was going to be the next president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I would have voted for the certification of that election. I was very clear about that.
Mm-hmm.
On January 6th itself, it was, that's not who we are as a democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who violated the law and violated the Capitol should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And in fact, I put out a statement that afternoon on a bipartisan basis,
Mm-hmm.
because that was not a Republican issue or a Democratic issue. And so Loretta Weinberg and I, my counterpart in the Senate Majority Leader and I, put out a joint statement that afternoon and saying, and I stand by that statement on the 6th. I've stood by it every day since. I said I would have supported the bipartisan January 6th commission. I said that with great clarity over the year.
But was Trump at
And then-
fault for January 6th?
He should have spoken out a lot earlier than he did. Absolutely, he should have spoken out a lot earlier than he did.
Did he,
And so,
did he instigate it? As Liz Cheney's alleging.
listen, I think that he should have spoken out a lot earlier than he did.
Not spoken
And-
out.
and-
Did he instigate it? That's what I'm asking. Yes or no?
I'm saying he should have spoken out a lot earlier than he did.
So,
That's what, and the second thing.
Wait,
is,
what do you mean spoken out?
He should have called people off.
Okay,
That's what I said.
okay.
He should have spoken out a lot earlier. He didn't call people off.
So
On
would
the
you
on the
vote for
day of
Trump?
the incident.
I said that on the day of the incident, I put out a joint statement saying that these people should be pulled back. And I said, when it's on the 6th.
Okay, so
other dates,
that's
Trump-
while it's underway. But
Trump should have-
is it
should
your
have
is are you under the impression from everything that the January 6th committee has revealed at this point that Donald Trump is responsible, partially responsible for instigating it?
I look forward to reviewing those documents should I have the opportunity to get down there. But at the end of the day, we've had too many times, going back the last decades, where people have questioned the results of elections. Whether it was Al Gore's election, whether it was
But we haven't had anybody who's
Whether- whether it-
we haven't had anybody who's after adjudicating it and lost, refused to acknowledge his
that's-
defeat.
Okay, I have run for office for 21 years in this state. I have won elections
Mhm.
and I have lost elections. In every single instance, when I have lost an election, I have made a point of calling victory
Mhm.
and conceding on, it took 16 days in the last cycle to have that conversation here in New Jersey.
Mhm.
It was a mandatory all vote by mail election.
It was close.
But people have, well, even the New York Times uncalled the race. But it took 16 days, and once it got down to 1 percentage point different,
Mhm.
as I've always have in the past, or I would hope that people would call me when the situation was reversed over the years. That's where you have that responsibility as a candidate. But my purpose is to lead by example, and whether I've been in the state legislature or whether I've run for federal office, you have a responsibility to accept the will of the people,
Mhm.
just like you do when you're on the floor of the legislature when you're casting votes, so that you can, every single time you make a decision in that regard.
so would you vote for Trump again? I mean,
The people of this district right now, and I am focused very much on this election, and the economy. I mean, the people right now that I'm talking, they're concerned about inflation, they're concerned about the price of gas, they're concerned about us not being energy independent anymore. And those are the things that I am talking to people about. And a hypothetical presidential candidate 2 years from now is not what people are talking about.